Carolina Design Review Board, please come to order. Approval of the minutes. You all have had a chance to see them. Do I have a
Motion to approve.
motion to approve?
Second.
Second. The minutes stand approved. Okay, well, as you know, we didn't have a meeting last time, so, and we don't seem to have any visitors today, so welcome staff. The first matter of business is a public hearing on DRB 3021-16, which is a request for certificate of appropriateness for facade alterations of the building located at 700 Park Avenue, tax map number 90064-08-001. The staff report.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you all very much.
May we have?
All right, so this is First Presbyterian Church. They want to add some covered entrances to the north side of their sanctuary. There's a vicinity map. It's right on the edge of the Timrod Park overlay district. And it is zoned campus. Here is an aerial photo of First Presbyterian. That's the sanctuary, and then the north side, the two arrows are where the covered entrances are going to go. There are already landings. They just wanted to add a bit of protection from the elements and add a little dimensionality to the sanctuary. So here are some pictures. Back in September of 2019, they got approval from this board to put in the columbarium, which you can see on the right side of the picture. So that looks pretty good. And so now they want to spruce up the two entryways to either side of that memory garden. So here's a little bit closer view. The northwest side of the sanctuary, it will be extend out about 6 feet long and 10 feet wide to cover that landing. And then the other one on the northeast side of the sanctuary will be about 5 feet long and 8 feet wide. So those will just be porticos added into those entranceways. Here are some examples of existing covered entryways at First Presbyterian Church. And this is the design that Billy McBride with Carolina Construction wants to replicate on those two entryways on the north side of the sanctuary. So the design guidelines, the construction will match the existing church heritage and try to replicate it as close as they can to what's existing. It will add same height, same scale. It will just add dimensionality and also add some shelter from the elements. And then the same design of roof, same pitch, and same materials will be used. No additional landscaping is being proposed, but when they put in the memorial garden, they did add quite a bit of landscaping. So that does conclude staff's report.
Are there any questions for the staff? I'll open it to the public, but I don't see anyone that would like to speak. So I will ask the board, do you have any discussion about this? Anybody have any questions? Or do I hear a motion?
I move to approve as submitted. Sorry.
In favor? Motion carries and it is approved. The second matter of business is public hearing in DRB on DRB-2021-17, which is a request for a certificate of appropriateness to install a fence and trim trees at 501 South Irving Street. Tax map number 90088-06-007 D3 Arts and Cultural Overlay District and Irving Street Corridor Overlay District. And I will ask for the staff report.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Again.
All right, so this is the South Carolina Federal Credit Union. They are proposing to put up a fence. They actually own both of these parcels, the north parcel being the building and the south parcel being the parking lot. So the south side of that bottom parcel, they want to put up a 270 foot length fence. It will be 6 feet in height. And from what I can gather, it will be black, and it's powder coated aluminum fence. Let's see, this is in the activity center, and it is in the Arts and Cultural Overlay District and the Irby Street Corridor Overlay District. Here's an aerial photo. To the south is the 507 Live. It's a bar. And the South Carolina Federal Credit Union is just looking for a little bit of a buffer between them and their neighbor adjacent to the south. They do want to trim up that one tree, but it will just be minor. They're just trying to get some branches off of the light. They have asked for a continuance on this case, so I just wanted to run through it very quickly. The contractor, Mr. Jody Bowles, was unavailable, and he has asked that we ask the board for a continuance. Here's a picture he sent. So it'll be 6 feet in height, 270 feet in length, and again, it is the black aluminum fence. And I believe it's powder coated. I can't confirm that yet, but that is directly out of our design guidelines as an approved material. So an approved material, but then it also calls for, if used to screen parking, which is this case, landscaping materials 30 to 36 inches high should be planted in front or behind the fence to screen the lower portion of parked vehicles. So I'll definitely discuss that with the applicant and just let them know that is straight from the design guidelines. They also have to follow Division 3-8.2.2 of the UDO, and they do, maximum height 6 feet. There are no transparency requirements, but it will have at least 50% transparency. And that does conclude staff's report, and they have asked for a continuance for this case until the next meeting.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If this is a voluntary action, so it's not mandated, why would they need to adhere to the landscape portion of that screening?
I believe it's just recommended. Let me see if it actually mandates it.
If they can proceed, if they can leave it as it is,
Without landscaping.
without fence or landscaping, they're going to add a fence. Why would they also need to incur the cost of that landscaping if they don't choose to?
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you. That seems reasonable in this case. Of course, we like to see landscaping, of course.
You can encourage something, but I guess my point is there are times whenever we mandate fencing and screening details. And then in that case, like we did the church,
That's right.
then they had to adhere to certain requirements, but this is not a requirement. This is a.
That's right. They are volunteering for this. And it's the reason being, I believe, is that the nightclub bar next door is using their parking lot for parking, and it's an effort to deter some of that. They had originally come to us wanting to put up a chain link fence, but we talked to them about the requirements, and we worked through that process to help improve the appearance of the fence through there. So I think they are working towards, an effort to improve the area.
I guess my point is if for some reason additional requirements were sort of imposed on them, they may choose that they can't afford anything.
That's
That may
right.
not be so.
That's true.
Well, it's certainly an improvement over a chain link fence. And if they volunteered to do the landscaping, don't say anything. Because there's plenty of room there. I went by and anyway, so we will pick this up at another meeting. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
right?
If y'all
Okay,
approve.
so we don't have to make any motion on this.
Do they have
Just
to-
a motion to defer.
Oh, a motion to defer. Do I hear that motion?
Motion to defer, Madam Chair.
Second.
And a second motion in favor? Okay. So, now, our last item of business is DRB 2021 18. Request for certificate of appropriateness for facade alterations of the building located at 151 West Evans Street. Tax map number 90167-02-005 in the H1 Historic Overlay District. And we will now have the staff report.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
All right. The applicants are requesting this certificate of appropriateness to add a canopy over the main entrance at the rear of the building for the new Synergy offices. This is located next to the El Agave restaurant in downtown. And it backs up onto Courthouse Square, and it's this rear entrance that they are interested in. This is what it looks like right now, and they will put out a dark bronze metal canopy. And the picture on the right is an example of what the finished canopy would look like. They, this is the view from either side of the entrance. You've got the fabric awning off to the left for El Agave, and then over at, I think it's Hood Temple, they've got a little bit of an entrance covered over there. The site plan is on the left, and it would be coming out, it would be about 8 feet wide and 12.5 feet deep coming off of the main building. So again, this is what it would look like, is with the just the dark metal, very simple metal canopy coming off of there. And that's just to shield the entrance for their employees, because the majority of the employees will be using that rear entrance. So that concludes staff report.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions for staff? All right.
Are there any design guideline discrepancies or any issues?
Not, as long as you don't consider that an awning.
Right. I know the county complex has just put a lot of that up. And
there are similar ones around downtown, just the totally horizontal,
right.
hard surface.
Yeah, the guidelines do address metal awnings or canopies, but I believe, you know, the intent of that is the old aluminum kind of, you know, we've always discouraged those, but these kind of more modern metal square structures, there's a lot of them downtown for front canopies as well.
Most of them cantilever.
That's correct. This one is obviously different. It functions more as a
But
canopy.
it's pretty much, my understanding, what's being presented is pretty much what the county did across the parking lot.
Yes, that's our understanding as well.
They have a nice entrance already. No, well, is there any discussion on this for the board? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Made a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Daniel, thank you. All those in favor? The motion passes. Is there any other business?
I did this at the last meeting, but since this is officially yours, Ms. Mike, and yours, Mr. Mitchell's last meeting with us, I do want to express the city's gratitude for your service on this board. Mr. Mitchell and Ms. Mike have both served their full terms on the board for, I believe, 12 years. Is that correct?
It's been a long time.
I think it's 4 years.
I've known them
Four score and 30 years.
That's right.
I've known them.
And I have, I can tell you, I have always relied on Ms. Bike's historical knowledge for the projects, and on Mr. Mitchell's practical advice. I could always rely on him to take that practical approach to things. So, and I do appreciate y'all's service on this board. So just want to thank you.
Now we're history.
That's right. You're in the books now.
Well,
Make sure you get the morning news right now, record up.
well, this really, it's been a pleasure. We've seen so much happen in the last few
So.
years, and I mean, it's an entirely different place. The design review board has, there's still a lot to
I know,
review. But you all have been so good about screening for us and helping those that have applied, and we thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank y'all. Thank my staff and staff of history as well. Because we've all built on each other and private developers downtown, and it's been a group effort. So it's been great, and I think the results are really showing.
All I can say is stick to your guns and read your manual and make sure and don't bend.
That's right.
Normally I come and visit, but till I see a tree, don't bother our tree.
That's right. I'll see y'all in the audience now.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank
We
Jerry.
thank y'all for all the service.
If there's no further business, the meeting stands adjourned.
All right.
The next meeting will be